Hi there, welcome back. This is part 2 of the tutorial of the orientation packet for the Young Actors Theatre Camp. I'm still your host, Sean Ryan. I have my summer hair. I don't know if anyone noticed, I got it cut today. I'm ready for summer. Alright, this is what to bring. This is page 6. Label everything. Can't say that enough, label everything. You can go down this list and see what you need to bring. I'll point out a couple of really important factors. The address book. Make sure that you bring an address book with your friends' physical addresses, including zip codes, first and last names. There's a lot of campers who come to camp, and we have tons of postcards to go out. We've got stamps for sale and postcards. I think stamps are $3 for $1, or maybe it's $4 for $1, and they come with the postcards. So you can send out the postcards and just tell everyone how you're doing. It also has a return address label so people can send you mail back. So make sure that they come with addresses. A little address book is a great idea. Also make sure not to overpack. We stress this every year. Please bring one bag, one suitcase, and then maybe a small duffel or backpack. I'll go through a couple other things. Water bottles. We will have water bottles for sale at camp, but it's very, very, very important that you bring a water bottle. If not, buy one at camp, because we don't have cups. We're a no-cup camp, so you have to carry your water bottle at all times, and there's plenty of places to get water at, locations to get water from during camp. Bag for dirty clothes. It does get pretty chilly at night, so remember, hats, sweatshirts, long pants, so that when you're sitting by the campfire you're not freezing. The cabins do get pretty warm, so the bedding can be sleeping bags or it can be sheets and blankets, however you like to do it. But before you go, make sure you think, do we have the bedding? You'd be amazed how many people forget the bedding. Dance clothes and dance shoes, if you have them. If not, you can wear pajama bottoms and sneakers. We just ask that there's no jeans in dance class. Outfit for the circus dance. So that's the thing that we were talking about in the last one. Just think creative, but it's also a blacklight dance, so think bright colors. Costumes, wigs, silly hats, bring whatever you want. As long as it fits in your bag, bring it to camp. We've got loads of it too. Of course, all your toiletries, all that kind of stuff, keep going down that. A small flashlight. If you can get one of those flashlights that's really powerful, it's like this big, that just clips onto your student's lanyard, or it can clip onto their belt buckle, it's really, really helpful. It's dark at camp at night, and we love everyone to have a flashlight. Also, label everything. I think I said that before, but label everything so that we know who to get it back to if it's lost. Okay, what else? Deodorant. It's a must. This isn't a joke. Bring deodorant. You smelly, smelly monkeys. Let's see, what else? Flashlight, books, notebook and pen. Notebook and pen you will bring with you to every class, so make sure and bring that to camp. If you want to bring an inexpensive camera, you're more than welcome to bring, laptop or a music player, any of that stuff, but label it and know that it's your responsibility while you're at camp. Anything that gets internet, cell phones, any of that stuff is absolutely forbidden, so I guess that would include laptops, because, yes, can't bring those either. And let's see, what else? Pocket money. So this year, for the first time, we have a concession stand. So we will have a camp store open each day with t-shirts, sweatshirts, water bottles, postcards, pens, all that kind of stuff, as well as snacks and water and soda. So bring, I would say a good budget for that. Sweatshirts are like $35, t-shirts are like $20, and then snacks, of course, are like regular concession stands, anywhere between like $1 or $3, depending on what you get. Medications, if you have any medications, just bring them and you'll check them in on the first day. Alright, page 7. Very important. Mailing packages to camp. Parents, you got to think ahead on this one. If you want to mail a package to camp, make sure that you send it like 5 days before you want it to arrive. So if you want it to be there on day 1 or day 2, you do need to mail it like 4 or 5 days before. The post office is a little slower in Boulder Creek, and of course, we're way from the main town. We're a good 3 or 4 miles out of Boulder Creek. So we want to make sure that the packages get there in time. So don't send something on day 8 and then wonder why it didn't get there until day 42. Also, we don't advise sending food or candy. If you do want to send food or candy, just send it for the cabin. So make sure you send enough for 12 people, and just send 1 portion. So if you send cookies, send a dozen or a dozen and a half cookies, because they all have to be consumed in one sitting. So you don't want your camper feeling like they have to eat 16 cookies themselves. Of course, they'll share them with their cabins like everyone does, but we don't store food for campers overnight. Unless, of course, there's an allergy, then you bring the food on the first day for gluten allergies or any of that stuff, and we check it into the kitchen. But snacks, no, we don't have the room for that, so make sure that it's 1 serving. We also can suggest sending, $5 in cash or in a card instead of the goodies, and then they can buy the goodies at the concession stand. So tell grandma or grandpa if they want to do something like that. That's a great idea. The address is there to send all care packages to, and you send it to YATC, care of Camp Sempervirens. Postcards from camp, I talked about this before. Make sure that your students have addresses. It looks like it's there are postcards that come with stamps for $3 for $1, so they can send out postcards to you, to other family members, to keep people, up to date as to how they're doing at camp. What not to bring with you at camp? Cell phones. YATC is a no cell phone zone. We want to keep the internet, the cell phone, the texting, all of that stuff completely out of the hands of the kids so that they can enjoy their experience. I myself would not carry my cell phone at camp if I didn't have to, but I do have to, so I do it. Oftentimes, I wish I didn't have to. But no smartphones, iPads, or iTouches, laptop computers, none of that. If you do have your music on one of those, you need to transfer it to a CD or to what did they call those things in the old days? An MP3 player. You need to transfer it to that ahead of time and bring that. We put the rule twice. Students will be sent home if they're caught with cell phones, and we will remind you of this on the first day. I will tell you that the student that almost got sent home the worst was when the parent had asked the student to keep the cell phone. We just don't do it. We have communication with the campers, and you're more than welcome to call us as much as you want. Don't call us too much, but call us as much as you want. Let's see here. What else? Oh, the exception to the cell phone rule is if you are a student who's flying in from another city, you must have the cell phone so that you can call the airport shuttle, and that's run by John Ainsworth, our co-director. So you'll call him when you get there, and then you'll check in your phone once you get to camp. We do have office lines for emergencies. Other items not to bring: scented perfumes, lotions, any kind of shampoo or toiletries that are scented. They just attract bugs, so don't bring those. Make sure that you do bring bug repellent because there are mosquitoes. Clothing with inappropriate logos or advertisements. We don't want you to bring your best clothing because you do get a little bit of dirt, but for the dance you can spruce it up. And also, obviously, knives, weapons, fireworks, matches. Don't bring any of that stuff to camp. We've never had anyone bring that stuff, but don't bring it. And you can bring your iPod or your small boom boxes, but know that they're your responsibility. Again, write your name on everything. Let's see here. Page 9, 10, and I believe 11. Is it 11 as well? Yes. Are all about, dealing with homesickness, how to prepare your camper for camp. So read through that stuff. We're really equipped to deal with homesickness at camp. Everyone gets a little bit of homesickness on day 1 or day 2. But don't worry, everyone's going through it, and we will help you through it as well. Even I go through a little bit of homesickness, so don't worry about that. And then on page 11 is the driving directions to Camp Sempervirens. So you can see there the route. I always suggest taking 17 down into Scotts Valley and then coming back up. A lot of people from San Francisco think it's easier to go down the coast and then come over. I don't advise it. It'll add a little bit to your trip to go over to 17 and come down, but it's just a lot curvier if you come in from San Francisco. Also, if your student gets car sickness, make sure that you give them Dramamine before the car ride. And this is important because if you arrive to camp, you're going to see the camp nurse probably within 30 minutes of arriving to camp. If you feel sick or if your students, gets nauseous at camp, they have to go home because that's our rule. If you get sick at camp, you have to go home, even if it's due to car sickness. We have no way of knowing on the first day if it's car sickness or if you had a bug or something. So make sure that you take Dramamine before because we don't want to have to send you home on day 1 because of a windy road, okay? Also, a great way to combat that is to arrive in Boulder Creek a good hour and a half earlier, maybe have a bite there before you come to camp. And that's a great way of kind of getting acclimated. All right, we will see you at part 3, and guess what? I'll be wearing the same outfit.